Hi everyone, my name is Jessica and I run a cake decorating business here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Today is my first time on YouTube with a tutorial. It's actually a special request by a friend who lives very far away. Hi Erica! She has asked me to show her or to help her how to make ruffles. I mean, I make ruffles quite a lot and I'm sure there's lots of different ways on how you can make ruffles, but today I'm going to show you how to make a ruffle my way. And the ruffles I'm referring to are these little babies right here. I don't know if you can see them or if it's clear, but that's how it should look like. These look really nice on a wedding cake, or if you bunch them together and put them on a ball, a styrofoam ball, it can look like a pom-pom as well, and I'll show you an example a little bit later. Okay, so the first step that you have to do is to get your fondant ready. I've got some white fondant today and I've mixed it with some CMC powder. You can also use gum track or Tylose or even use gum paste, so that's up to you as well. Alright, so then you have to roll it out really thin, and for this I prefer using a pasta machine. It's a lot faster and you get the same even thickness each time. Okay, so I'm going to take it down to maybe a 4 or 5 on the machine. We'll see. We'll have a look. Okay, that's down to a number 5 on the pasta machine, and it's paper thin, like 1 millimeter. So to cut it out, I've got my circular cutters. I'm going to use the number 5 today. It's a medium-sized ruffle. Obviously, if you want to make them bigger, you can choose the bigger size circle cutters. Or if you want to make them smaller, you can even go right down to number 1. That's completely up to you. It really depends on what you're going to use the ruffles for. Okay, so you just have to size it accordingly. So cut them out. Try not to get any of these frayed bits around the edges because they look really bad. They look really messy and I don't like the way it looks. So once you've cut the circles out, put them on your foam pad. And this is where I'm going to use my tool, which is the ball tool. Sorry, there's a few more edges here which I don't like at all. I want to get rid of them. Just use your finger to smooth it out, and those frayed bits should smooth out quite easily. Okay, so with the ball tool, I'm going to use the larger end. I'm going to thin out the edges. This is where it takes a little bit more time, but the end result is really more delicate and more dainty. So it's well worth the time. Alright, so once that's done, you just need to get a little bit of water, tiny bit. I always moisten the underside, not the top side. Okay, so flip it over and put a little bit of water in the center. And then fold it in half, gentle, but don't squeeze it, just gently fold it. And then put a little bit more water on the top and on the other side, but on the bottom. Okay, because what you're going to do now is you're going to fold it and then squeeze it. So that little bit of water on the top and the bottom helps it stick together. Okay, so and the squeezing makes the ruffle poof out. Alright, so then you've got that excess here as well, that tail, and that's too much. So I want to get rid of that by pinching that away. And at this stage, you can also adjust the ruffle to make it look, you know, not squished together. I don't like it when it's squished together. And then get a bumpy tray. In my case, this is a bumpy foam, and you can rest that in there for them to dry. Okay. Now if you were to do it on a wedding cake or a birthday cake or whatever, and you want to do some in advance, and you've got to make tons, and I mean tons. Let's say you want to make 2 trays of Ruffles. I would do 4. Okay, that's quite a lot, but you'll get through that, trust me. So same thing, fold it in half, and then add water on the top, and on the other side on the bottom, and fold. Now, this method, which I'm going to show you next, is the wired version. So I've got a number 22 gauge wire that I've hooked on the edge, and dip it in a little bit more water, and then I'm going to insert that into the end, not all the way down, and then turn it up again and just ease all that excess away. Now, so then you've got a ruffle that's wired. And how to dry this is by getting a rack and putting an egg carton on the top, and I've punctured holes in the bottom of egg cups so that the wire can go through, and voila. So you just have to keep going until the whole tray is full, and then I would times that by 3 or 4 minimum, just to fill up an entire tier. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you one more time and how I do that ruffle. So with this, thin out the edges again. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. The more random and the more free flow it is, the more natural it looks. Okay, so a bit more water in the center on the underside, and I'm folding it in half but not really pressing it together. Bit of water here on the top bit, flip it over, and on the bottom, and then bring it together and squeeze. Okay, a little bit of squeezing just helps the ruffle open up a little bit more. There you are. Pinch off the excess and allow it to dry. Okay, so with the pom-pom that I was referring to before, how I've done it is I've put a skewer through a styrofoam ball, and then I've covered the ball with icing, with fondant, and then while the fondant is still fresh on the ball, I just attach the ruffles directly onto the ball without any without any wires. Sorry. Because the fondant is still quite soft and these are still relatively soft, it should stick quite easily. And then I just fill all that up until it's completely covered. You don't have to go all the way down to the bottom. You'll find that once you reach the bottom, it might not hold. That might fall off. So you should just really maybe do it up to here. It will take a little bit of patience, and sometimes it helps if you try it upside down. Okay, oops. So this is the pom-pom which I was referring to, the complete pom-pom. It's in a beautiful mauve and lilac color, and it looks really nice on the cake. Okay, so I hope that really helps you make the ruffle. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.